I'm just gonna have a little rant here before we get into the actual reaction. It might have to be a little bit, but all I want to say is just it never ends. The torture never ends. And seeing how Rodgers has played this year, I'm dreading the fact and the realization that he could be in the league for another 5 to 7 years. And it's just another 5 to 7 years of just absolute slapping and absolute schmacking by Green Bay. It is never ending. We have no chance every single time. Obviously, we had a chance in this game. I'm not saying we don't have a chance every single game, but the odds of us actually winning and playing the full game and actually beating Aaron Rodgers in a 60-minute contest is bar and slim to none at this point. This rivalry sucks in the last 20 years. It is garbage. I can see why people think like something like the Ravens and the Steelers is the best rivalry because those games are actually competitive. This rivalry is historic, and that's the only reason why it's in any sort of rivalry list because these games are awful. They're awful. It's just one guy just absolutely dominating another team. It is never ending, and the entire city of Chicago hates that man with a burning passion at this point. Seeing how what he has done to our sanity. This man is seriously given so many people. Obviously he's doing amazing things. He's obviously going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm not going to shy away from the truth, but that doesn't mean that I can't be mad. I'm mad. I'm mad, and I'm very pessimistic right now. I am not in a good mood. We're probably still going to make the playoffs. The game's still going on. And I just left because obviously the pessimism just couldn't be handled. I could not believe how frustrating this team is. I cannot believe it. We had this game, and I'm only so mad with this specific game. I don't usually, I get mad when we get blown out. Yeah, sure, I get mad. But at least those games, we don't have a shot from the beginning. It's like, it's like, we get our, butts crushed. So, why even have the hope in the first place? But in a game like this, where it means so much for Trubisky, Nagy, the city of Chicago, literally the entire franchise, probably the biggest regular season game in I don't even know how long, maybe even since 2013 against Green Bay at home, which you lost, by the way, you blow it again. And this game, like that game in 2013, you had a shot. 2013 was a much closer game and had a much more climactic ending. Oh, Rodgers floats the Cobb, touchdown, Randall Cobb. But this game, we lost because of red zone offense. 4 red zone possessions, 1 touchdown, 3 field goals. You cannot settle for field goals that many times against Green Bay. You make more than 5 mistakes like that, you're done. You have 0 chance. Literally no chance. It is impossible to beat Aaron Rodgers when you give him, when he scores 5 touchdowns in a game, you have 0 chance if you're going to go in the red zone and go 1 touchdown and 3 field goals. It is impossible. Not going to happen. It's never going to happen in a million years, and especially not from a team named the Chicago Bears. Never is going to happen until he leaves, which that day when Aaron Rodgers retires is going to be one of the best days of my life because it finally means that we might have a fighting chance and the rivalry just might be good again. That's the most frustrating part. That's another really frustrating thing. The Packers defense talks so much garbage. There was so much trash talk from the entire Packers player base. So much trash talk. I wanted to beat them today so bad because I knew it would have been take that. Looks like, that trash talk couldn't back it up, buddy. Maybe focus on playing. But of course, this is the Packers we're talking about. They're going to be good because it's the Packers. Doesn't matter how good the skill positions, doesn't matter what kind of players there are. Just because Aaron Rodgers is on that team, the team is going to win at least 9 games every single year. We had the ball for 8 minutes. No points. That right there, game over. So many things. We had this game. We had this game so bad. Aaron Rodgers was not himself through the third quarter and partial of the fourth quarter. He did not look that good. If I remember correctly, he was like 3 for 7 at one point in the second half after starting 10-10. He was not really that good in the second half. Gonna be completely honest. But you know what's going to happen. The entire media is going to praise Aaron Rodgers because of his amazing first half. Not going to remember, oh, he didn't really have that good of a second half. Oh, and the Packers defense kind of let the Bears do had the ball for so long. They kind of got tired out. But our offense was incompetent and couldn't get to the sticks half the time. We had to go fourth and short like 4 times. We had like 4 fourth and ones. I was like after the third one that we converted where we got a blessing from the gods about a blown false start call. Then the next one, I knew that it was like, man, we cannot do this because it's going to catch up on us at one of these times. And the very next series, 4th and 1, awful play call. Garbage. What is this? I don't even understand how we live with these kind of calls for some reason sometimes. I really don't. It is infuriating. I can't take it anymore. I really can't. I don't want to be that guy that just says, oh, we're going to lose, we're going to lose, we're going to lose. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to. I want to have optimism. I want to. But when you play a team with that good of a record and that much to play for, it's not going to work, man. If you're going to go 1 for 4 on red zone touchdowns, it's not going to work. It just doesn't. To beat the Packers, you have to have a near flawless game. And we did really good. We didn't have that many flaws. But 3 dropped interceptions by Jackson, Mingo, and Vildor. 3 field goals in the red zone and only 1 touchdown. 8-minute drive and no points. That is why we lost this game. That is why we lost this game. We looked good. We did not have a bad game. We had a pretty decent game. If we played the majority of the NFC, I think we probably would have won that game. If we played like that against the majority of the NFC, we probably would have won that game. But since it was against the Green Bay team that was playing for the number 1 seed in the NFC, possibly the best team in the NFC, and for some people, for some godforsaken reason, say they're the best team in the league, that is not going to fly. And this is why I'm so frustrated. Obviously, I shouldn't have that much optimism for beating the Packers. But because I did, I got my soul crushed. I was talking with some other friends earlier today, and they're kind of like, oh, be quiet. You're in the playoffs. It doesn't feel as good. It kind of feels like, oh, we're in the playoffs? Well, do we deserve even? They deserve with that performance, So it's kind of whereas the division, even let's take the NFC East, for example. That division's been absolutely garbage pending the result of the Sunday night game tonight. If Philadelphia wins, these 6-10 Giants are going to the playoffs. What is this? When you have a division like this that has so much history, so much rich history about the franchises that are in there. You've got the Minnesota Vikings who have been around. Probably, I think they're actually the youngest team in this division. 4 Super Bowl appearances, yet no wins. Whatever. You made 4 Super Bowls. That's better than the Bears' 2 appearances. Yet we won one of them when we've had probably the best team in football's history. That's being a bit biased, but my point still stands. The Detroit Lions, who before the merger had a pretty decent history, actually. They won a couple championships before the Super Bowl era. They haven't been to a Super Bowl, the only NFC team to not do it. They don't win the division. They're kind of like the NFC North's punching bag. It's weird to say that because we get punched around all the time by both the Packers and the Vikings, and even half the time the Lions. It's kind of weird to say that. But if you're looking at history in general, yeah. And so when you see things like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, The teams that they've gone up against in the division, it's not really even that. It's not even that close at times. No one else in this division finished above 500. Lions were 5-11. Vikings were 7-9. We're going to be 8-8 and somehow make the playoffs. When was the last time that there was a real outside of 2017, 2018, where Rodgers got hurt, and then the following year they just had an off year in their 100th year? When was the last time the Green Bay Packers didn't look good? Probably couldn't tell me unless you have watched a ton of football. Because before Brett Favre, or since Brett Favre took over, they've been good pretty much year in, year out. I don't remember the last time outside of those 2 years. I don't remember the last time the Packers had a losing season and had a bad season. Because even when they had a subpar year, they were still in the playoffs or winning the division with the rest of the division being bad. 2013, I'm looking at you. This is why I've been so mad. It's the history about it. I just want the rivalry to be good. I don't, obviously we're not going to win every single game against the Packers. That's just not realistic. You're going to lose games. But a rivalry that is competitive is compelling to everyone else. The only thing this thing has now is just history. Just because it's the oldest rivalry. That's the only thing that it has now. That's all there is. The rivalry has been garbage. It has been awful. It's just Aaron Rodgers beating up on us twice a year, basically. Since Rodgers has taken over, we've won like 5 games. Just 5 against Rodgers. We don't beat Aaron Rodgers. And I'm only reacting like this because I'm passionate. I'm only reacting like this because I love this team and I want them to be successful and I want the rivalry to be good again. I'm not mad because I think that we are awful and that we should be tanking. No, that's not the answer. Personally, Trubisky has possibly saved his job since he came back from the starting job. He came back and he did what he needed to do. And if you tell me it's against bad defenses, shut up. Because you see what the Rams did and the Browns did against the Jets? They lost. And it was because of, and especially in the Browns' case, it was because of bad quarterback play. 3 fumbles for Mayfield. Trubisky does not turn the ball over often. And if he turns it over, once or twice a game. Very rarely do you see 3 turnovers come out of Mitchell Trubisky. The offense looked good. It did. It did. It really did. The offense looked good in this game. But not good enough. The history of these two franchises are just completely two polar opposites, which is one thing I actually do like about this rivalry. The Bears have been notoriously known for having better defenses and better running back positions, whereas the Packers have had better wide receivers and better quarterbacks, which in this day and age always wins games. Always wins games. If you cannot throw the ball deep and if you cannot stretch the field, you're not winning games. We've said this so many times with Trubisky, his deep ball accuracy needs to get better, and that's just the bottom line. And again, if we play to his strengths, he's a really good quarterback. He can do a lot. If you look at some of these quarterbacks, he's just straight up better. Like, he's not the worst option out there. I still don't understand why people think he's a career backup. It's just a bit frustrating. And that's another reason why I got so mad. I wanted to see Trubisky succeed. I wanted to see Trubisky silence at least some negativity. I wanted to see him silence some negativity. But because he lost, they won't care about how he actually performed, which was a pretty good game. I wouldn't say he had a bad game. I wouldn't say he had a great game. But he had a good game, but no one's going to care because we lost. If we can beat Green Bay every year, if it's a split pretty much every year, or if we're getting consistent at beating Green Bay, and maybe you get swept once or two, but if most of the series are split, I'm going to be fine with that. I'd be fine with that. I'll take that, where a series split every year, maybe a one, let's say in the next decade, so let's say in this decade, excluding this year, every year is 1-1 except 1 year a sweep by the Bears and 1 year a sweep by the Packers. I would be fine. I would be fine because we won 4 games against the Packers last decade. Out of 21 games, yes, the playoff game and this championship counts. 21 games, we've won 4. It just goes to show how bad this has become. And that's what I want. That's why I get frustrated. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys later.